Hello, this is Bridget Rao with Divine Essentials. Hi guys, how are you? So we're moving on with Alcyone light healing, and tonight we are going to be doing a guided meditation, but I want to do this a little bit differently than normally because I know a lot of people, when I take you on the journey, you get really relaxed, and basically some of you fall asleep or some of you don't remember it and you just kind of get really like too relaxed. So instead of it being like a lay down and relax and go to sleep, it's going to be more conscious because this is more so practice about, you know, when you're going to be a healer. Okay, so as a healer, when you go into a healing session, you're going to scan energy and you're going to identify that energy. And this isn't something that I expect you to know the first time you go into a healing session with somebody, to be like, here I go, like, that's a this and that's a that and blah, blah, blah. But over time, you're going to get there. And so tonight's more so practice on yourself to kind of feel energy and to kind of, you know, go with what you feel intuitively. So depending on your gift, if you're clear knowing, clear feeling, clear seeing, clear hearing, or if you're not quite sure about what the strongest gift you have is, just trust your intuition, trust your, you know, the first thing that comes to your mind, like when you're scanning, because that was another thing too, like, I never know exactly how the meditations are going to go until I do them because I channel, but I'm assuming that we're going to get into a good place. We're going to open the vortex, and that's kind of the same thing that I do for a healing session anyway. So like if I have somebody on my table or somebody coming to get on my table, I ground myself, I center myself. A lot of times I open the vortex before the person's even there, so there's already a vortex going in my space. And then if the person comes and I have them get on the table, before I scan their energy, or before I even really do much with them, I might do the 4 directions prayer to open sacred space. If you've done the Moon Key with me, you know what that is. If you haven't, it's basically just opening sacred space and calling in protection, and our ancestors and our guides and, you know, peeps. Or I'll open a vortex, and when I open the vortex, I know that I'm going to be transmuting what needs to be transmuted out. I'm calling in protection, I'm calling in the guides, and I'm bringing in the energy. And a lot of times, because I'm so used to doing trans-channeling, and because I'm so used to guiding people who get on my table, like, I'm like, all right, like I do like a whole guided meditation while I'm doing hands-on healing. So if you're somebody that's comfortable with, you know, telling the person on the table what you're doing, you can guide them, you know, open that vortex before they ever get there, but then when they get there, open a new one and slowly open it, you know, go through the process of it so that they can visualize it, bring that pillar of light down into their crown, and when you bring that pillar of light into their crown, you can place your hands right on their crown so that they can like visualize and feel it at the same time. And then, you know, as you're bringing it down, you know, like you can do the third eye, you can do like the throat. I have rocks that I use like on people's face, like I just take the stones, like, you know, more rounded stone or something, and I basically like trace, maybe I'll trace down their nose and I'll trace over here and trace the energy that's on their face and like pull it out, away. Anything that's not good, I'm pulling that energy out and away. So that's the other thing too, where we're scanning this energy, we're identifying this energy as like, oh wait, that energy's different. I don't know exactly what it is. Sometimes I still run into shit that I don't know what it is. You know, like everybody's different, everybody's got their thing, but my good thing is that I have the clear knowing, so a lot of times it's like, blah, 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 like, here's the information connected to that weird thing. But I know other people need to come up with their vocabulary, they need to come up with their dictionary, so to speak, of like, this is what this is and this is what that is. So give yourself permission to not know going out the gate. Don't feel, you know, stressed out going into the first session that you do. Tell people that I'm still practicing, I need to practice on X amount of people. You don't even have to do it in person. You can do it long distance, where you imagine that they're sitting in this chair and you're like, all right, I'm going to do a healing session at 7 p.m. Could you just sit down somewhere and relax, you know? Or you could even do like a FaceTime with them where you can see them sitting and you imagine that they're in the chair while you know that they are sitting. And that would be another time where it would be great if you could guide them a little bit with your voice, but you don't have to. Whatever you're comfortable with in the beginning. Because in the beginning for me, I was not comfortable to speak to people like that. I wasn't comfortable to, you know, like touch certain, like I was like, oh, I don't want to touch there or touch that. I don't want to touch their face. I don't want to do, like, so I know over time you'll get more comfortable. You'll break out of your shell. You'll be able to do things that you didn't think you'd, you know, ever do. Like when I did the exorcism thing, like I never really assumed that I would be doing one. But Spirit brings to you what you're ready for, and they bring to you what you're supposed to do when you're supposed to do it. So like, even though I wasn't like mentally prepared or I hadn't had, you know, training in that, the things that I said, the stuff that I did, I was cool, calm, collected, and I was like, okay, this is what I'm doing, and this is what I'm saying, and it worked. And then afterwards, I was like, oh my God. But in the moment, you're good. In the moment, you're in the flow. In the moment, you shouldn't really be much of a thing involved anyways. And more that you can take yourself out of the situation, like remove yourself, the better it is. Because then your ego isn't in the way, your thoughts aren't in the way, your stuff is like, you know, out of the way. And you're just a clear channel for Spirit. So like, even if you do a healing on somebody and they're like, oh my God, that was the most amazing thing ever, and you did this and you did that and blah, blah, blah. I always remind people that it's Spirit, because I'm like, I didn't save your life, I didn't fix your thing, like, you know, I've had people like think that I cured their cancer and stuff like that. I'm like, no, I didn't do that. Like, Spirit came through and did whatever Spirit did. And if they use me as a catalyst or a channel, that's fine. But don't let it go to your ego. Don't become like, I'm the best healer ever, because it's not how it is. So I just thought that maybe this would be a little bit easier. So if in the middle you're like not sure where we're at or what you should be doing, you can open up your eyes and see that I'm, you know, here, and see kind of what I'm doing, because I'm gonna scan myself as I'm telling you guys what to scan. And I'm not going to do it for like crazy long amount of time. I'm not going to do like a full hour-long session. But I used to do 20-minute sessions with people a lot, like at a Reiki clinic. That's where I got all my practice in, was having people come, get on the table for 20 minutes, do their little session. So I'm going to base it off of like what I would do in those sessions on myself. And you guys can do this sitting down, you can do this standing up, you can do this laying down. However you feel comfortable to do it is up to you. And like I said, if you are, you know, lost at any point, you can open your eyes and see what I'm doing. If you find something, like, because we're going to scan, and the first time we scan, I'm going to scan everything, you know, like feel for everything, and just feel for any resistance, feel for any, you know, like bubbles in the energy, or waves in the energy, or fluctuations in the temperature. And if you feel anything like that, and you shouldn't be like, oh, there's a billion things, because you guys have been healing with me, you guys have been doing work for a while. I'm not assuming that there's going to be too many of you out there. We just did an entity implant removal. Like, I'm pretty sure you guys are pretty clear. You may have issues here, or you may have issues here, you may have issues here, or you may have like 2 or 3 issues, but you shouldn't be like, oh, I can't keep track, you know, like there shouldn't be that many. So, you know, just, we're going to do the initial scan, you're going to kind of figure out like what maybe you need to go back to, and then I'll have you go back to what you need to go to, specifically to work on that area, and you can, you know, take your time in identifying, you know, what you think it is. You know, like, maybe it's because this person, maybe you haven't been speaking your truth, or maybe you haven't been feeling a certain way about something, you know, like, and you know you, so you know what's been going on with you better than I do. So I want you to think about, you know, what that could be connected to, who it could be connected to. Is it a cord? You know, does it feel like it comes out and goes somewhere? Or does it feel like it's, you know, just like a dip in the energy? Or does it feel like it's like too much energy? Because people can be overbalanced in an area, or they can be underbalanced in an area. So like if their heart was like underactive, they could be like depressed and sad. If it's overactive, like they may be giving too much, or like, you know, just being crazy in love with somebody, like obsessed and just weird. And you come up with it too. So whatever you feel is what Spirit's going to direct to you. Spirit's not going to direct to you what I know. Spirit's going to direct to you what you know. So like they show you a butterfly halfway through. What does the butterfly mean to you? Does it mean transformation? Or does it mean spreading your wings and flying? You know, like, think about what Spirit's trying to say to you, the way that they communicate to you, and go off of that and use that as your way of like, oh, okay, this is what they're saying. And then when you've identified, you know, what it might be connected to, you know, just place your hands on the place that needs the healing. And you can sometimes, like, I'll gather the energy, like I'll take my hand and just kind of do this and grab and pull that energy out and take it out and, you know, put it into the vortex so the vortex can transmute it away. Or imagine that there's like a trash can or something that you're throwing it into. Never just throw it all willy-nilly. You know, be mindful of where you're tossing it. And again, if you have more than one spot, then you can go to that next spot for a few minutes and just like put your hands over it, kind of try to identify, what is this connected to? You can even ask, like, what is this connected to in your mind? And the first thing that comes up is probably what it's connected to. And then you can, you know, think about it and like feel the energy of it, if it's cold, if it's hot, you know. So later on, if you ever run into that again, where, oh, I feel cold energy, but it may be a different chakra. Well, it meant this when I was on that chakra, so what does it maybe mean on this chakra? Just experience and time is what is going to make you good at doing this. And some of you may already like be really good at it. If you're Reiki healers, or you've ever done a private session on somebody, you know, you've probably done this to some degree. So I don't want to go on and on about it, but I wanted to, you know, explain a little bit so you guys are prepared. And just allow yourself to relax, close your eyes, deepen your breath. And whatever position is comfortable for you, just allow yourself to be in that position, present in this moment. Ask to open the diamond light vortex. And imagine the diamond light vortex opening, the top diamond, large, encompassing, expanding out, connecting with the I Am presences, the I Am presence from this life and other lives, to help inform you of the energy, the fluctuations, the places in need of healing, transformation, and light. And the energy pushes down and crisscrosses and opens around you, the second diamond, expanding out around you on all sides to create a sacred space, protected, warm, secure. Feel yourself connecting energetically with this energy of the vortex, connecting with your aura, connecting with your breath. And breathe the vortex down beneath you to crisscross into the earth and to create the third diamond, grounding and stabilizing, becoming aware of the sensations in your feet as you are stabilized, grounded, secure. You are safe, and that vortex pushes all the way down into the heart of Pachamama. Now that the vortex has been opened, we ask for a pillar of light from Alcyone to come down through the center of the vortex, to come down into the diamond of your sacred space and into your crown, and feel the expansion of your crown as it enters and it travels down through the chakra column, lighting up and assisting, bringing healing energy through the body, all the way down to the root, and down to the earth, through all the layers of the earth, stabilized, connected. Allow yourself to connect with your own energies, your multiple versions of bodies, your physical, emotional, spiritual, and mental bodies that exist around you. And your aura. Just become aware of the energy that exists, and bring your hand above your head, and feel the crown scanning. You may see colors. You may feel sensations. You may know or hear guidance. Slowly allow your hand to become aware of the energy of the crown, and slowly begin to scan down from the crown to the third eye, feeling for any differences. Could be a difference in temperature, could be a difference in the energy itself, the flow, faster or slower, higher or lower. Each individual will connect with the energy differently. Take this time to get to know the energy. Feel and slowly move down to the place of the throat. And be aware of the sensation as your hand slowly comes closer and further away from the throat. The sensations as you get closer. And go back up to the crown. And again, scan these 3 chakras and feel for any differences. Anything that feels like it needs the attention, need of healing. And use what you know about yourself, about your energy, your body, your actions at this time in your life. If you feel anything feels like it needs to be taken away, allow yourself to do it. To grab and to remove any energy that is just floating or existing in the way, being balanced and clear. It may be within the aura, the spiritual body, the mental body, the emotional body, or it may be something connected to the physical body. If you had a headache, you may feel something closer, manifested within the crown or the third eye. You may be guided to the eyes. If it's more so emotional, you may be guided out above the body, hovering very closely. If it is the mental or the spiritual body, you would be further away, and you trust your intuition to inform you of which body you are working with and what energy is identified. Could be about perspective. Could be about speaking truth, integrity. Allow yourself to do one final scan, and you may feel that any places that were imbalanced when you started have now found their way into alignment by simply bringing awareness to it. And slowly move down to the heart, scanning the heart. You may feel that you need to get closer or further away from the body. You may feel fluctuations, the temperature, the energy may be moving faster or slower. Could indicate anxiety or depression. A broken heart. A lack of compassion or love for the self. Only you will know. Only you can identify. So trust. Trust which body to work with. Trust the visions that you see. The words that you hear. And the feelings that you feel. And slowly move down to the solar plexus now. To the place of power and confidence. Again, feel which of the bodies is more in need of your awareness and your energy. Is it a physical, emotional, spiritual, or mental level? Or are all levels clear and aligned, powerful and strong? Trust what you receive and trust what you know. If it is closer to the physical body, it may be a lack of confidence in self, in the way that the self looks, speaking out, confident voices. There could be imbalances that feel similar with the throat and the solar plexus. Allow yourself to scan back up over the heart, over the solar plexus, back up over the heart, down over the solar plexus, feeling for differences, indication of healing needed. And then allow yourself to go down to the sacral, to the place of relationships, to the energetic womb, the physical womb, and the divine feminine, the reproductive organs, and divine masculine and feminine. You may feel that you need to spread your hand out further to encompass both sides. If you have your menstrual cycle, you may become aware of the energy shifting or the discomfort associated with that. You may be drawn to place your hands on both sides. Or to place your hand on one side and pull energy with the other. Feeling all of the bodies, physically, emotionally. Maybe it feels colder, hotter, more dense, blocked. Allow your hand to guide you. Could be at the aura, could be within the bodies. Scan down to the root, to the basic needs and survival. If someone were ungrounded, or not feeling safe or secure, there may be imbalances, fluctuations, changes in the temperature. As you move your hand around, you may feel the sensation on your physical body without even touching. Feel the energy moving, aligning, by simply bringing awareness to it. Feel all levels, all bodies. Find any imperfections, imbalances, overactive or underactive. And then bring your hand slowly back up to feel for any shifts. As you bring your hand up, facing up, feel all of your chakras individually as you go. The sacral, the solar plexus, the heart, the throat. And as you get up to the throat, allow your hand to move back and forth over the third eye, up and over the crown. And again, do one final scan from the crown down, feeling for any energies, any fluctuations. Take your time with it, don't rush. If something feels like it can be removed, or that it needs to be shifted, you may go ahead and shift it or remove it by grabbing, tossing, and then slowly moving on. Feeling the third eye, all levels. Removing any energy, debris, cords, anything that feels that it should not be there. And then down through the throat. The heart. Taking away any pain, any suffering. It could be from this life, could be from another life, could be connected to the inner child, could be connected to love, family, friends, self-love, compassion. Scanning down to the solar plexus. Finding any imbalances, any energy, any fluctuation. Down to the sacral. You may feel called to allow your hand to move in the infinity symbol back and forth over each area. Moving out slowly through all the physical, spiritual, mental, emotional bodies, down to the root. If you feel that you need 2 hands to scan, you can use 2 hands. Whichever hand feels appropriate to use. However it feels appropriate to do so. Trust your inner knowing. Now that you've scanned yourself, allow yourself to go to the place that feels that is most in need of some healing. If you need to scan again, to be reminded, or to see if that place is still in need, you may scan back up and down until you're guided to stop. may place both hands at the center and knead. You may allow your energy to run, to breathe. You may leave one hand channeling energy from the divine into that space. You may use the other hand to pull, to take away any imbalances, any imperfections, to just simply get the energy moving again. However you feel guided. If you feel a cord, call to Archangel Michael to cut the cord if it is not serving this individual anymore, if it is not serving yourself anymore. Archangel Michael, please cut any cords that are not in alignment with the I Am Presence and the divine blueprint of the individual. You may call on Raphael to come heal that severed cord, to heal the aura, to heal whatever needs to be healed, wherever it needs to be healed. And when you feel that you have run enough energy to this space, when you feel that the energy is back into alignment, you may want to scan up and down again to feel, does it run more appropriately? Is the temperature all the same now? Or perhaps it's warmer from the healing that has just occurred. Simply feel and allow, and if there are any other places on the body, or if you need to scan the body again to find one, allow your intuition to guide you, and you can leave your hand still remaining on the last chakra, or the last body part need of healing, until you identify the next space. Could be the chakra right below or above. Perhaps the energy was blocked and not running appropriately. Place your hand on the chakra in knead, with the body part associated. And just allow the energy to run, your intention to heal, your intention to balance. You may feel guided to bring in the energy and frequency of something specific to this chakra. Could be a specific crystal, could be essential oils, could be the energy and frequency of compassion or love. It could be anything, any animal, any color, whatever you are guided to. Ask that the vortex and the pillar of light bring in the energy and frequency of whatever is needed for for the balancing and healing of the chakra that you are connected to. And feel that energy come in. Some of you may see it. Some of you may feel it. Some may just know or hear it. As one level or layer is healed, you may feel guided to then check the emotional level and layer. To take any residue, any blockages, any energies, and retrieve it, and toss it, remove it, bringing in divine light. And moving further out to spiritual and mental bodies. Perhaps it all started within the mind, within the beliefs. Whatever we believe, we perceive, we create, and we attract. Ask yourself, what belief, what trauma, what experience may be connected to what you are feeling at this energy center? And be mindful that it could be another life, could be childhood. May not be obvious, but you know. Continue to run energy as you listen. And again, scanning. Scanning for any imperfections. From the crown to the third eye, keeping your hand on the last chakra, down to the heart. Solar plexus, down to the sacral, and down to the root. If you feel any more imbalances, any more imperfection, allow your hand to go to where it is needed. Intuitively trust. You may feel the heat running from your hand into your body, bringing comfort, balance, divine energy. You may feel guided to trace along the body, to pull energy off of the body. Perhaps tracing down an arm, down over the hand, pulling any energy off, starting at the shoulder, down the arm, forearm, the wrist, and the hand, pulling any energy off. And one more time. Switching sides, leaving one hand on the impacted chakra while pulling energy down the arm, over the wrist and hand, and off. You may feel guided, if you are in the right position, to place one hand in front and one hand behind the impacted chakra. Allowing that divine energy to flow through the body. To bring comfort. And now, simply allow yourself to feel the aura, to scan one more time, to feel how much better the energy flows, if the temperature has risen, the energies have shifted. And if you feel guided, you may stay and remain. To continue to heal any impacted area. Or you may ask that more energy be brought to that specific energy center, body part, emotional, wound, spiritual lesson, mental thought. Whatever it is, you may do this practice as many times as you need. You may journal to understand on a deeper level what you received. Keep notes, mentally or physically, of what you felt and what you did, what you saw. It will help you in remembering later, in exploring others, in balancing energies, and doing your divine healing work on yourself and others. It is all about intention and trusting, patience, being the channel, removing yourself, and aligning to the divine energies that are always available. Scan one more time from the crown down. And back up close to the body, making note of anywhere that needs further attention. When you are done with this session, you may give further attention, identifying and working with that place in need. But for now, you have completed a scanning and identification of energy meditation. You may do this with others, or continue to do with yourself until you are comfortable to do with others. Thank you.